Nobody speaks. You're not going to be able to hear what Miss Risher or I am saying on the camera.
Is your mic on?
So you just show.
Hello, can you hear me?
Nobody speaks.
You can't hear me?
We're going to take some time to introduce people and give some announcements.
Can you hear me?
And then when we
No.
out, we will get you to
Test.
Okay.
Live from Brookwood Marching Band.
Help us out.
Can you hear me?
We can't come in and babysit. Thank you. And I would like for the towels to be gone. No towels. Perfect. Thank you.
You need to not put it on the field. Can you hear me now? Are you giving me a signal when I can start? Hi, everyone. We at Brookwood Band have had a great week here at North Georgia. I have a few announcements, a few things to do, and I'll turn you over to Dr. Stanley when I'm done, and then I'll let you see our progress that we've made this week. We could not have done this without my wonderful chaperones this week. I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to wave down there. I have Amy Davey, Melissa Kim, Ryan Mitchell. I have Rob and Karen Damaski, Carlene Kirkpatrick, Jamie and James Cook, Philip Watson, Debbie Barnes, Julie Allen, Jack Modridge, Rob Dennis, Brian Kiger, Tom and Sarah Bezick. And behind the camera, I have Quincy Johnson and Mr. Risher's doing some work behind the camera scene too. And we also, special thanks to Donna Lapine for helping us out this week also. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the live feed and seeing everything you've learned. Your kids are incredible. We thank you so much for a great week with them. I'm going to go over a few announcements with you real quick, and then we'll get started. So if your student needs shoes, we need to place the orders and collect the money. Mr. Risher's going to make a form, kind of like the LOI, with and that you can like go on there and order for your student and then pay. If you have any questions, you can email me, but look for that tomorrow night or Saturday. Give us a little time to recover, to get home, get unpacked, and then he'll get to working on that. So on August 20th, we're going to have our band picnic. We hope everybody will join us. The band will be providing hot dogs and drinks, and we ask that everybody bring a side dish or a sweet to share. And don't forget to bring a chair or a blanket to sit on. And we will be meeting in the practice field behind the tennis courts. So make sure you come and join us for that fun event. The next event after that is August 21st. We have Corky Kell. And there is a link that Mr. Risher will put on the band website that you can click on. You're going to have to download an app to buy your tickets. And the tickets are $21 each. Please make sure you're supporting the band and buying them from the band. We are allotted a certain amount that we have to sell. And your code is going to be Broncos March. Once again, that's going to be on the band website for you. So, also, for Corky Kell, we will be selling T-shirts. These are the Corky Kell shirts that the school provides us with, and it does count as a fundraiser. They are $10 each. And the students can wear them under their uniforms for Corky Kell. If they have a Corky Kell shirt, they'll be able to take their jackets off when they're in the stands. And the students may purchase this once school starts from Mr. Jean and Dr. Stanley. And lastly, one more announcement is tomorrow, check out. Tomorrow morning, we're going to get up. We're going to have another rehearsal, and then we're going to go to lunch. If your student had an A meal in the morning for breakfast or lunch, they will check out at 1 o'clock after they eat. If they were in B, their checkout will be at 1:45. So you'll come into the dorm and go to their rooms. Once they're all packed up and the chaperone checks their room, we will return your key deposit, collect the key, and they will be free to go. So we just need to make sure that we leave things cleaner than we found them. So once again, I want to thank you. It's been a great week. These kids are incredible. I hope you have enjoyed watching, and just so proud of them. So thank you so much. I'm going to turn things over to Dr. Stanley now. Are you ready, Dr. Stanley?
Hi, so thankful for Miss Risher and these group of chaperones this week. We have had a blast. I know many of you probably have been on the live stream throughout the week, and what a treat. Special thanks to Quincy Johnson and Ben Risher. Goodness gracious. The amount they do, setting up, taking down 2 or 3 times a day is incredible. So Brookwood's a special place, and you've probably figured that out if you're new to Brookwood. And if you've been here a while, then you know exactly what we're talking about. It has been such a great week. So we're kind of sad to leave tomorrow. Normally we would end on Saturday, but we've gotten so much work done, and we're leaving at a good time. We're leaving at a good up time, honestly. I'd like to take a second to introduce the staff. This is what makes Brookwood so special. Honestly, because a lot of these guys that are standing here are alumni of our program at Brookwood, or even some of them actually marched with me in redcoats, just like 5 years ago. I'm kidding. It's been a while. Over here on the far right, we have Hannah Frash, and Hannah is coming to us from Indiana. She's awesome. She's been working the flutes. Next to her is Jess Tenney. Jess, this is her 2nd year working with the Guard. And then we've got Deidre Dobelman. This is her 3rd year working with the Guard. You got Frank E. Folds. This is Mr. Folds' 25th year teaching some band camp, and he just doesn't miss. And again, another reason why Brookwood's such a special place for sure. To his right is Corinne Wilkinson, and Corinne is a Brookwood alumni, and she is helping the clarinets. And then you have Erin Cundiff, and Erin is also a Brookwood alumni. She's been helping the trombones and really a lot of the low brass, being a tech for them. Next is Jeremy Cover, another Brookwood alumni who is a baritone player, and this actually is his 1st year coming back to teach camp with us. You got Joel Garcia, who is working with the trumpets, and a UGA grad. He's been here a while. You got J. Rod Miller. J. Rod's like our DJ. He's he works with mellophones. He's the dodgeball ref. He basically does lots of things. And this is my 19th year at Brookwood, and also J. Rod's 19th band camp working with us. So we both came from Georgia. I'm just a little bit older than him. Up next is Robert Lloyd. Robert is also a Brookwood alum. He's been working with the drum line, and is at DGA now on their drum line. You got Josh Baffor, another Brookwood alumni. He's at Kennesaw State, coming back to help us. You have Elvis Yang, who is also working with the sousaphones, and Elvis has been with us for several years, working the band camp. You've got Liam Guyton. This is Liam's 4th year working with the pit, and he's amazing, and we're so glad he's here. And then you have Elliot Folds, who's also a Brookwood alumni, working with the trombones. You've got Robert Truon, who is my past student teacher, actually, and he's been working with basically anyone and everyone, and he's getting his doctorate now in conducting in Texas, and so he was free for the summer and we snagged him. And then last but not least, you have Sarah Sewell, who's also a Brookwood alumni, former drum major, as well as Elliot. I forgot to say that. And Sarah is one of the drum majors at UGA, and so she's here working with the drum majors. Darren Stanley has been working with the percussion, obviously, and he took off this morning for some gigs, back to work, and we're obviously blessed. No doubt we're blessed. Let me hit a couple of announcements, and then I'm going to talk to you what the kids are going to be doing. Ms. Risher hit several things. One thing that I wanted to make sure we all were aware is the team was supposed to travel to Naples for the big tournament down there, and they are no longer going. But we are excited because that weekend now has turned into a home game. So that Friday night, August the 27th, is going to be a home game against Decula. And that is amazing because that means we can actually have a home game before we have to host the 8th graders for youth night. That's always a stressful thing to have the first game also be youth night. So that's exciting. That's a Friday night game, and we'll add that to our calendars for sure. Then the other thing is, obviously we're about to start back to school, and with the little by little students coming back in, obviously the Wednesday we will have the 9th graders, and then Thursday we will have the 10th graders. On August the 9th, we are supposed to have everybody back in school. So that's actually going to be our start date of rehearsals. August 9th is a Monday, and that'll be the drumline and guard rehearsals that start regularly. And then on August the 10th, which is Tuesday, we will begin our after-school rehearsals for everybody from 3 to 5:30. We'll talk about some of that during the picnic, obviously, but I wanted to make sure you understood that when the kids have Tuesdays and Thursdays rehearsals, they are graded. That is something they have to be at. We do have, obviously, excuses in our handbook, which we'll go over when we start school. Is that they have to miss something for an appointment they have already scheduled. We'll work with them. But when they miss things, they have to do makeups for those grades. So the performances are all mandatory, the rehearsals are all mandatory, and they actually get a grade in the grade book. We cross our fingers and hope that it's a 100. That's what we want for them because it's based on participation. If they're not there and they have to play something for us, then we give them a grade based on how they play. So that's important to know. And we do stay after school. They don't need to leave. The bell rings at 2:10, but we give, they want to have a snack, they want to have a change of clothes, they want to have a drink, they need to sit down, they might have a study session with some kids. A lot of them do some studying during that time, go outside and throw a football or a baseball and try to get away from school for a minute, and then we start on our parking lot at 3. We have to start setting up around 2:45, so there's just not a lot of time left in between. And just make sure that you're always reading those quick notes. We try not to send too much to you, but we know with the outlets of communication, it's best that we send it all together. And if you just take some time to read through those, then hopefully you're on the same track. Okay. Again, so glad you're here. We have been thrilled being at North Georgia, and it has been nice to kind of build some relationships with each other. We started the band camp with a tournament of dodgeball sections against each other, and it was so fun watching the kids have so much fun together. We've absolutely missed that. And then tonight we have senior night, and we got to celebrate all 77 seniors in the marching band this year, and they are a class act. Great leadership, good kids. So kudos to you for sure. Okay, so what you really want to do is you really want to hear what these guys have been doing. So they're out here in Concert Arc. And in Concert Arc, they get a time to kind of play together without moving their feet. It's kind of like sitting in a concert for, the holiday concert or LGPE, and they're able to do things by breathing and playing and moving their fingers. Now they're just kind of marking time. But realistically, we're a marching band, and realistically, we want to move and sound just as good as when we stand still. So we're going to play a little Concert Arc for you. That way you can kind of hear what they're going to play. And we're going to start with 2-minute warning.
Wait. I pulled the mic. I pulled it. Dr. Scott, let me make sure he hears. Get a thumbs up, please.
So that was a little bit of 2-minute warning. Okay, and next they're going to do the actual first movement of our show. Our show is called Brookwood Nation, and Brookwood Nation actually came about because our ranger thought about a show centered on how Brookwood became their community. He did lots of research on his own. Actually, Brett is he's the director of Redcoats at UGA, and he's a graduate of Shiloh. And he was always interested, coming from Tennessee, that there were these groups of communities occurring, and they were, selling the shirts at Walgreens and Kroger and becoming their own community. So he decided to put together some tunes. These tunes are about horses, and he noticed that there was a lot of #family that's centered around Brookwood. You might hear in our closer a little bit of our fight song, and you're going to hear a small ensemble kind of play a little bit of hoedown, and a little bit of hard to handle. And we only have our first movement right now. The kids have only learned the first movement, drill and music, and then when we get back to school, we'll begin our second movement, and then we will close out with our third movement. So you're only going to hear a third of your show today, and as the performances go on, like Quickie Kill and on, you will hear a lot more of that music. So they're actually going to stand here and play this in concert arc. And that's one thing I forgot to do, is to kind of mention who the drum majors were. I've got Jacob Kelly, who's a senior over here. On the center podium is Carly Kirkpatrick, and over here next to Carly, she's kind of facing the band. That's Anaya Pauling. She didn't even know I was going to introduce her, but oh, there she is. So those three drum majors have really done an amazing job. So up next is the first movement of Brookwood Nation. Hope you enjoy. All right, so I can imagine as you're watching, you probably have a hard time seeing all the kids. And as you know, when you get to the games, or maybe even for Quickie Kill or for the exhibition or the competition, you're going to be high enough to where you see the kids much better, which is going to be a super amazing treat for you. When they're in concert art, there's lots of bodies. There's 220 of us, so there's lots of bodies to have to play through. What they're doing right now, and you see the guard kind of coming around, they're going to what we call opening set. And the way that we set drill, if you haven't been watching the live stream, is that we go page by page. And the kids have to learn where their bodies are facing, where their bells are facing, how to dress the form, what the form looks like, how many counts each form is, the measures they're supposed to play, where they're supposed to listen for getting the time. You hear that tink, you hear the metronome in the background, which can kind of be annoying at times. You're going to hear that during this run because they're going to kind of count and sing their parts, because obviously as wind players, it's hard to play that much for a long period of time. So they kind of get a little bit tired at first. And then the second time, they're actually going to play without the metronome. I don't remember the last time at band camp I've been able to do that. This group works so hard. They are so focused. They're so disciplined. They do things that I asked them to do the first time, and it's obviously because of you. So we're so thankful. You are going to really enjoy this, and of course when you get to see it from up top, it'll be even better. So this is first movement, Bronco Nation. They're going to count and sing, and then immediately after that, you're not going to hear from me. They're going to go back to opening set, and they're going to play all the way through it. Hope you enjoy.
This will be your full run, guys. This will be your full run.
Okay, now I just said they do things the first time, and I've totally stepped on my words. They're so excited they reversed it. They did the run of their show. They were supposed to count and sing, which is really good for them. You probably have seen the live stream. You've seen that happen. So you probably would rather see two performances, wouldn't you? We also like to get a video of them performing full out. We don't have our drone going right now, so selfishly we thought we'd make them go ahead and do that one more time. All right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the final run of Movement 1 Bronco Nation. They're excited. They're excited. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And hopefully next time we can find a way to do this in person, but maybe it does save you a little bit of craziness tomorrow as well. So looking forward to seeing you next year. Looking forward to an amazing year. You know it, that whenever you need anything, you can email me. I'm happy to answer any questions and help you in any way. Thank you for choosing Brookwood. Thank you for choosing band. Thank you for being a Bronco. There's nothing better in the world. And I, even having 2 kids go through the program, I cannot wait to see what they do at Brookwood High School. So thanks for letting us have them for the week. We will see you tomorrow, and safe travels. Bye.